Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today's reading is going to be about what Spirit wants you to know. So take a moment to meditate with these cards and allow your intuition to guide you to whatever card or cards you find yourself most drawn towards. I will also leave the timestamps for the specific groups of the reading in the description as well. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading about what Spirit wants you to know. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the card that you chose, and this card is going to represent the overall energetic theme of the reading. I'm also going to build upon that theme as well by getting a few more tarot cards, followed by some oracle cards as well, just to get a little bit more insight and information. So let's go ahead and reveal this card that you chose. So we have the card of the moon here, and this card is very interesting. This card of the moon, it's often associated with the energy of Pisces. You may potentially have astrological placements in the sign of Pisces, but that just might be something to take into consideration. But this card is often associated with mystery. It's also often associated with dreams and the power of the intuition, as well as illusions and self-doubt and potentially anxiety as well. It's often associated with the energies of the subconscious. So what this is really telling me is that it might be important during this time to pay very close attention to your dreams and your intuition, and also to pay attention as well to anything that you might be repressing within your subconscious, what may be stirring under the surface within yourself. So whatever needs to be addressed, this is a very good time to bring that to light and to bring that into illumination. To be very honest and very discerning about whatever lies beneath the depths of the hidden undercurrents within your psyche. And I think by acknowledging and by working with this energy of the moon consciously, it's really doing just that. It's bringing it into your consciousness and into your awareness. So anything that may need to be acknowledged is acknowledged, and it's used as a beautiful opportunity to learn from, to grow from, and to heal from. So this is very interesting, but I think that what's most important here is that it may be very important to pay attention to your dreams, to your intuition, and to allow that to guide you, and to not let yourself be overly swayed by any anxiety-driven illusions and any self-doubt that may be present within yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this reading by getting a few more tarot cards as well from our Celestial Tarot deck. So we'll go ahead and take a look here at what else wants to be known for you during this time. What else Spirit wants you to know. Okay. So the next card that we have here is the Five of Pentacles. Okay. And then the next card that we have is the Five of Cups. So I'm definitely not going to lie, this can definitely be a somewhat challenging energy here with both of these cards, but I'll get into that in a moment. I'll begin first by discussing this energy here of the Five of Pentacles. So this Five of Pentacles, this is often associated with the energies of financial hardship, health issues, there's things not really going quite so well. And this energy can be a bit tricky to navigate at times, but what this is really telling me more than anything is that yes, things may be challenging. There may be some financial difficulties that are present within your situation, and there may be potential health issues or emotional issues. But however this resonates and however this resonates with you is going to be different for each person, obviously, but what this really tells me is that yes, things might be difficult, but there's always going to be help available. There's always going to be a way that you can improve your situation and really take matters back into your own hands and allow yourself to be helped when there are available opportunities for you, and that things are never as bad as they seem. And I know it's sometimes it seems that way when there's always that illusion here with that moon as well. There's always that illusion that things are that it's going to be so difficult to improve your situation, and that that it feels like things might always stay in that negative state forever. But that's definitely not going to be the case. And with this Five of Pentacles, this really tells me that whatever hardship you may be going through right now, there's definitely many opportunities available to help improve your situation. And when you are struggling, it is also your responsibility to ask for that help that you need as well, rather than expecting things just to improve automatically or overnight. And sometimes that also means reaching out for external support as well when things begin to be beyond your control or out of your hands. I think it's important to maybe look for some outside external resources. But whatever this situation may be, this Five of Pentacles situation, I feel that this is definitely not going to be a permanent situation. And I think you have that strength within yourself. We all have that strength within ourselves to tune in to our higher self and the power of the universe, and to get our to find our strength in that when times are challenging and when life feels like it's crashing down on us. Turning within and tuning into our own power and our own internal strength of our spirit, and the great power that is the universe as well. The power of spirit that's always there to uplift and support us and to help guide us in the right direction. And when you allow yourself to tap into those higher energetic frequencies, I think that's definitely going to help give you the wisdom and the insight that you need in order to get yourself out of this potentially negative situation. And we also have the Five of Cups here as well. And this card here, this is often associated with despair and hardship in a more emotional sense. This card is associated with grieving, with loss. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a loss of something very significant, although it could be. It just depends on each individual situation. But it's it could be a more of a small scale level of grief, or it could be on a very large scale as well, depending on the individual. So whatever is going on for you, I feel that this is most likely a very difficult time of struggle in your life right now. And I think it's very important to always remember that there's always hope, and there's always going to be a new beginning and a new opportunity to improve the situation. And I think it's important, like I said, to reach out for external support if you need that. And it's also important to remember that there's always going to be, just because it looks like things aren't, just because it looks like things are never going to improve, there's always going to be those opportunities still available for you, and something to still be grateful for, even when it looks like life isn't necessarily going your way, or it doesn't look like the universe is on your side. Because ultimately that is an illusion, because the universe is always on your side. And it definitely doesn't always feel that way, because we're always going to be challenged, and there's always going to be difficult energies to navigate in this 3D reality, but that's ultimately a result of our soul's evolution, and ultimately this life was never meant to be easy. And but that doesn't mean that the universe is against you, or that you're being punished for anything by these negative energies manifesting in your life, if that is the case for your situation. It's ultimately a very powerful and very expansive growing opportunity on your soul's evolutionary path. So I think it's just very important to remember to be very deliberate and very discerning in order to distinguish the dreams and the intuition from the illusion and the lies. I think that's going to be extremely important in this situation that you may be going through, and to not let yourself fall victim to your own illusions, your own delusions, and to remember that this situation is ultimately temporary, and you have all the resources available to get the help that you need, and just remember that you have the strength within yourself, and you have the support of spirit whenever you need to tap into that. It's always going to be there to uplift you, to guide you, and to support you through any difficult situation. So I think that's something very important to take into consideration for your situation. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this reading by getting a card from our Moonology Oracle deck, and we're just going to see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, so the card that we have is the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Trust the universe. Okay, so this is a very beautiful energy, and I did also just want to mention that you may have astrological placements in the sign of Aquarius or Pisces that may have some kind of significance for you, but whether you do or not, I think that it's just something, like I said, to take into consideration, and just take this as it resonates with you, as always. But with the first quarter moon, this is a time of the energetic momentum beginning to build and beginning to grow in strength. And during the time of the first quarter moon, those intentions that you've put forth out into the universe, they're really beginning to, like I said, to build in that energetic momentum and that force as well. And it's also a time to really reflect and to refine those energetic intentions as well that you previously put forth to manifest. So it's definitely a time of growth, and of growth, refinement, and motivation. And the sign of Aquarius, this is all about connecting to our authentic selves, to allow ourselves to be a unique individual amongst the collective, and to really allow ourselves to allow ourselves to express and radiate that unique energy within ourselves that really makes us who we truly are. And this card asks you to trust the universe, and that really kind of ties back into what I was saying before about how whenever you're going through these very challenging energies, whenever you're navigating your way through these energies, I think it's always important to tap into the energy of the universe, of spirit, whatever word you like to use to describe it, to tap into that, and to also trust your higher self as well, and to know that you can navigate your way through this, and that this challenging situation it's not your final destination. And ultimately, like I was saying before as well, it's a beautiful opportunity to allow yourself to be more deeply to allow yourself to more deeply fine-tune your vision as well, and to distinguish those illusions, to distinguish the dreams and the illusions, and to know what is true and to know what is right for your own personal path, and to not let yourself be overcome or overly swayed by any anxious any kind of anxious, self-doubting thinking of any kind. So I think that's extremely important to take into consideration, and to really positively embody those Aquarian archetypes as well within your own life. I think that will be extremely important as you navigate whatever situation you may be finding yourself in, to be your true authentic self, and not to care so much about what anyone else says or thinks about you, because at the end of the day, no one's life is going to be perfect or seamless. And we all have these challenging energies that we navigate. We all have these hardships in life. And it's important to recognize that no one's life is as perfect as it may appear on the outside. And it's okay to be real, and it's okay to be authentic. And ultimately, I think that the universe is going to be encouraging you to exist in that kind of embodiment, rather than any embodiment of any self-doubting energies. So I'll go ahead and continue this reading by getting a final card from our Cosmic Dancer Oracle. So we'll go ahead and just get a final card to see what else Spirit wants you to know. So the final card that we have for you is this card of Honor the Process. And I think this is absolutely beautiful, because this really truly reflects and confirms what I feel that you're going through during this time. And this card of honoring the process, it really just depicts that totality of the transformational process, of the process of metamorphosis, of healing and growth and expansion. And it really kind of asks you to tap into those energies of where you are currently, not where you want yourself to be, but where you currently are. And as difficult as that may be, I think that there really comes a lot of liberation from that acceptance, and embracing the reality of the situation, and knowing that this is a temporary season. It's part of a cycle, and it's really part of that greater process. And as this card asks you to honor that, and to acknowledge where you are in this season of your life, and knowing that we can't be in full bloom all year round. That's just not possible. And we kind of need to learn to accept the winter as much as we accept the summer, because all of those energies have their own place and their own purpose. And sometimes there needs to be that time of rest and retreat, and that time to really refine the details of your life, and to do the clearing away as well, to clear away anything that is not in alignment and not in resonance with your soul's ultimate trajectory. And even though it may feel temporarily painful or inconvenient or fear or anxiety inducing, I think at the end of the day, it's ultimately important to remember that this is a temporary part of the process. And if you allow yourself to really trust that intuition, to trust the universe, then you will be guided in the right direction. And it ultimately will help you heal in the best possible way, and help you navigate this situation, and come out on the other side even stronger and even wiser, and to have a little bit more energetic experience, I guess you could say, navigating these energies. And it honestly helps improve your own energetic skill set, learning how to navigate a wide variety of different energies, what we label as good or bad, or difficult or rewarding. We kind of need to go through it all in order to cultivate and to accumulate that full human experience and the diversity of energies that are included within that. So I hope this made sense. I hope this reading resonated with you. I'm going to go ahead and end your reading here, Group 1, and I just wanted to thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this reading. And if this reading resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And also, I will leave information in the description as well if you may like to consider leaving a tip. But it's something that's never expected, but very much appreciated. And I'm sending you so much light, so much love, and so many blessings upon your journey. Thank you so much. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading about what Spirit wants you to know. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the card that you chose, and this card is going to represent the overall energetic theme of the reading. I'm also going to build upon that theme as well by getting a few more tarot cards, followed by some oracle cards as well to get a little bit more insight and information. So let's go ahead and reveal this card that you chose. So we have the Princess of Swords, and this card is also associated with the Page of Swords as well. But this card, Princess of Swords, Page of Swords, it's associated with a pursuit of greater intellectual or educational advancement. It's also associated with the energy of the inner child wanting to grow and develop at a greater level, wanting to cultivate a greater level of mastery and maturity in whatever matter that may be. But within the Swords cards, they're more focused on cultivating a greater intellectual and greater intellectual and educational mastery. But what this really tells me is that you may be in the process of maybe beginning a new course of study, or perhaps going back to school, beginning a new job, beginning something that will ultimately expand your horizons and expand your potential in some kind of way. But as with all of the page cards or the princess cards in these decks, in this deck here of the Celestial Tarot, it's the process of really continuing the process of growth and expansion. You're not necessarily at your final destination or where you ultimately want to be, but it's the initial stage of that process, and it's kind of it's being in that motivated beginner energy. Maybe not quite a beginner. I feel that there's been a little bit of advancement and a little bit of progress, but there is definitely still a long way to go. But there's that passion, that drive, and that motivation there to continue evolving, growing, and expanding, and pursuing whatever pursuit that is that you want to continue with. So we'll go ahead and get a little bit more information here from our Celestial Tarot deck, and we'll just see what else Spirit wants you to know about this. So we'll see what else wants to be known here, but I really feel that you're definitely at the beginning of a very new you're at the beginning of a new process in your journey, and I feel that whatever you want to learn, and whatever new skill you want to develop and cultivate, I think that you have that drive, and you have that desire to actually make it into reality, and to do the hard work that it's going to require in order to make that into an actuality, to make that into a reality. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these other cards here. We also have the King of Swords, which I think is quite interesting. And then we also have the Lovers here as well. Very interesting. So with this King of Swords, what this really tells me is that you really are in the process that growth and expansion. And like I was saying, how you don't become the master overnight. It's going to take that time, and it's going to take that diligence, that tenacity, in order to get from the starting point to the finish line. But if you allow yourself to continue taking that inspired action towards your goals, and to continue that educational process as well, because with these swords cards, I feel that like you're learning something. I feel that this has to do this has something to do with education, or some kind of learning process, some kind of course of study. But the king of swords, this is all about that. It's all about that intellectual mastery. It's thinking things through very rationally, very deliberately, very logically. It's more of a methodical, calculated approach rather than an emotional, intuitive approach. It's very masculine energy, very reality focused, it's also very material focused in a way too, but in a mature and very healthy kind of way. But what this really tells me is that you are learning, you're learning a new skill, you're learning a new course of study, whatever that may be. And like I said, that could potentially be going back to school, or beginning a new career path, or just taking it upon yourself to find new knowledge, to develop new insights. And this is all about that process, getting from that point of this Princess of Swords to this King of Swords. And this is a process of growth, and it's a process of expansion, and it's a process of mastery as well. And I think you're definitely on the right track. And I think it's very important with these swords cards to be very logical, to be very discerning, and to really kind of cut through the illusions, and cut through any kind of energetic entanglement that is keeping you from seeing reality clearly. So whatever that may be for you, I think it's important to maybe address that. But overall, what this is really telling me is that you're in the process of really continuing upon a journey of learning, of growing, and of developing a greater level of mastery and maturity. And then here we also have the energy of Gemini with the Lovers. And this card, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's associated with the energy of not only love, but the energy of duality as well. And how our relationships with others are in many ways, they act as mirrors, as ways for us to really see our own shadows, our own triggers, and to kind of see ourselves within another as well. This energy of the Lovers, it can also be associated with marriage, with divine partnerships, with a sacred union of any kind. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership, but it could also have to do with friendships as well. But more traditionally, it is often more associated with romantic partnerships, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And like I was saying as well, it does also have associations with the energy of duality, the divine counterpart, and that balancing that divine masculine and feminine energy, having there be that harmonious equilibrium between those energies, and learning how to balance those in a healthy and effective way within this life. And I think Spirit is really wanting you to continue your process of of learning and expanding your consciousness. And I think Spirit also wants you to acknowledge that it may be beneficial for you to maybe look at your relationships as look at them as mirrors, as ways to see parts of your shadow, to see the unhealed parts of yourself potentially, and to also see the best in yourself as well, because our relationships are beautiful ways for us to really get a little bit more of a clear insight into the way that we embody our energy in certain situations. But our true selves can't truly be defined by what anyone else says about us. I'm not trying to say that necessarily, but I'm just saying that our relationships are very, very powerful tools for us to get a more clear perspective about our own actions, our own behaviors, and our own biases as well. So I think that definitely might be something to take into consideration. And I'm going to also continue your reading by getting a card from our Moonology Oracle as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. We'll see what else Spirit wants you to know as I get a card from this deck. Okay, so the next card that we have is the first quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. I think this is very beautiful. And the first quarter moons, this is a time of us to really reflect and refine our energetic intentions. After we've put forth our energetic intentions out into the universe, this is a time of really putting our dedication and our focus into that energy of really refining that, and really bringing about that increase in that energetic momentum. Things are beginning to come to light. Things are beginning to come into illumination. And with the sign of Capricorn, this is really all about being the authority of our own life and taking responsibility, taking that more mature approach as well, as I was discussing here with the King of Swords, having that mature, responsible, realistic approach to life as well. Not really looking at things with rose-tinted glasses, but looking at the cold, hard reality of the facts of life. And this card is also often, the energy of Capricorn is also often associated with entrepreneurship, of being a leader in business, well, not just in business, in any kind of sense, but it's often associated with the energies of supervisors, of management, of climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak, and being an influential leader, and having that very that deliberate and mature, realistic approach to life as well. Like I was saying, not looking at life through rose-tinted glasses. And this card asks you to unleash your kindest self. And it is often a stereotype with the Capricorn energy, but the Capricorn energies, they have been known to be a little bit more harsh, a little bit more cold at times, and that's not necessarily the case with everyone who has Capricorn placements, but it does kind of tend to be a stereotype that Capricorns can be a little bit more prickly around the edges. They can be a little bit more stern, a little bit more. They can be, sometimes they can have their bad days, just like anyone does, and sometimes that seriousness can be a bit overbearing when that energy isn't expressed in its healthiest and most evolved kind of way. But anyway, this card asks you to unleash your kindest self, and I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the energy of the Lovers, and how our relationships are often opportunities for us to really see ourselves within another person, and to really use that relationship as a mirror. And it's an opportunity to uncover certain tendencies that we may have that we may not be able to pick up on if we were just experiencing ourself within our own perception of ourself, if that makes sense. So I think this is important to not only be kind to yourself, be very kind to yourself, and to treat yourself as kindly as you would treat your best friend. But I think this is also asking you to treat others with respect and kindness as well. And I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying that it may just be something to pay a little bit of extra attention to give just a little bit more love and nurturing to within your life. And being your kindest self, it doesn't necessarily have to be with a romantic partner or with someone that you're very close to. But I think it's important to be your kindest self in any situation with any person. And I think it's often even more important to be kind to the people who we don't necessarily see eye to eye with, whose values don't necessarily align with ours, because in a lot of ways that's the true test of our heart and of our kindness itself. And I'm not saying that we need to excuse abusive or destructive behavior, but just setting that base standard as setting that base standard with kindness, and just putting that into every relationship, into everything you do, is ultimately it's definitely not going to harm or hinder your life in any way. It's ultimately going to set you up for a lot of success and a lot of beautiful opportunities, because when we do anything from a place of kindness and love, it's going to have that ripple effect out into the universe and into everything that we touch. So I think that's definitely something to take into consideration. Maybe being a little bit more conscious about potentially how you're showing up and how you're speaking and embodying your energy in relationship to others, and also in relationship to yourself, treating yourself with kindness as well. So I'm going to go ahead and end your reading by getting a card from our Cosmic Dancer Oracle. And we're just going to get a final message here from Spirit, just to see what else you need to know and what may be something to keep in your awareness around this time. So I'm going to go ahead and get a card here. Okay, so the card that we have is Sparkle and Shine. And this is definitely one of my favorite cards in this deck, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I think what this card is really showing me is that I guess it's hard to really articulate this, but there's that beautiful and that infinite radiant divinity within the core of your being. And I think when you step into that embodiment of your potential, when you follow those dreams that you have to learn, to grow, and to expand, to master those energies of the intellectual, of the mind, and to as you follow that quest that you're on throughout this journey, and focus on how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others, how you show up in relationships, and balancing that sacred masculine and feminine energy. I think it's also important to let that radiant divine spark within yourself shine and radiate throughout the core of your being, radiate through the core of your being and out into the universe, and to really show that, to express that, and to share it with the world in whatever way you feel most called to. And to remember that you are the universe, and the universe is within you, and as above, so below. And to remember that you have a very special and important purpose in this life, and you have a very beautiful gift to share. And you may still be in the process of discovering what that is. And I think it's ultimately a lifelong and infinite process of knowing who we truly are and discovering the gifts that we have and also developing them, because there are things that take practice, that take dedication. And sometimes we do have we have these predispositions to be able to do things, whatever you call it, a natural talent, a predisposition. We have those innate abilities to be talented at something, but it does ultimately require that the harnessing of that energy and the practice and the deliberate effort to continue growing and cultivating that. And I think that you definitely have what it takes to let that light shine and to share those beautiful gifts with the world as you continue to discover them, and as you continue to let yourself be your true self, and to share that with others, and to let yourself be seen, to let yourself be known. And like I was saying, to remember that you have a very important, very divine and sacred mission within this life. And I think it's important to never forget that, and to remember that you are a radiant, powerful, divine, cosmic being within this existence. And to always remember that, to know. So I'm going to begin your reading by revealing the card that you chose. And this card is going to represent the overall energetic theme of the reading. I'm also going to build upon that as well by getting a few more tarot cards, followed by some oracle cards as well, to get a little bit more insight and information. So let's go ahead and see this card that you chose. So we have the card here of the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, this card is often associated with walking away from something in our lives. This could be something that has been detrimental, hasn't been serving us, hasn't been serving our highest good. But oftentimes this is something that's very difficult to walk away from. It's something that we may have put a lot of energy, time, and effort into. And this could potentially be a painful separation of some sort. But I feel that whatever the situation is for you, it is a conscious choice that you are making to walk away from whatever it may be that is no longer in alignment with your true path and with your highest self. But with every ending, there is always a new beginning, and I think that's also very important to keep in mind. And I think that's ultimately what Spirit wants you to take away from this, is that whatever you may be leaving behind, there's going to be something so much better waiting for you on the other side. And whatever painful ending this may be for you, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to cultivate a greater level of strength, and to also not be so attached to things in this life as well, because nothing in this life itself is impermanent. And I think oftentimes we forget that. And whatever happens in this life, the only thing that we can take with us is our energy and in our soul. So I think that's just something to maybe take into consideration. But I feel that you're at the end of a cycle, but you're also at the beginning of a new cycle as well, with this conscious choice to follow the path that is most aligned with your highest good. So I'm going to go ahead and continue your reading by getting a few more tarot cards to get a little bit more information here from our Celestial Tarot deck. So let's go ahead and see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay. So we have the Six of Cups here. Quite interesting. And then we also have the King of Cups. Very interesting indeed. So I'll begin by discussing this, the Six of Cups here. So the Six of Cups is a card often associated with nostalgia of something from the past resurfacing, something from the past returning. This could be potentially going to visit a childhood home, or going to visit your hometown, maybe encountering someone from your past as well. But I feel that it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical place or a physical person. It could also be an energetic theme that is resurfacing from the past, whether that be your childhood or when you were younger, or even the recent past, as in a few days ago or a few hours ago. So, however this resonates with you, just allow that to kind of guide the reading. But it's definitely going to be different for everyone's situation, obviously. But I feel that you're walking away from something, you're leaving something behind. But this it could potentially be that you're leaving behind something from your past, something from your childhood, maybe potential childhood trauma, or something that has it's something that's outdated, and something that's no longer in alignment with who you are now currently. But I feel that whatever is happening for you in this situation, that it's happening for your best and your highest good in the long run. And I think that potentially you are doing some deep shadow work and some deep inner healing, addressing some old themes, maybe some old programming about who you were told that you were supposed to be in this world, potentially by a parent, or some kind of authority figure from your younger days. But however this resonates with you is obviously how you should take it. We also have the King of Cups here, and I think it's interesting how we have these 3 cup cards. But anyway, with the King of Cups, this card is all about our emotional mastery, about our ability to ride the waves of life, and to stay calm and collected, and to weather the storm, basically. Our ability to remain in a state of peace and serenity, despite any kind of external circumstances that might be kind of trying to rock us off center. But with this King of Cups, this really tells me that as you walk away from what hasn't been serving you, perhaps something from your childhood or from the past, a past relationship, whatever challenging circumstances you may be experiencing, this King of Cups asks you to really come back to that place of center, to allow your intuition and your higher self and the universe to guide you through this time, and to remember that you can handle anything, that you have what it takes to overcome any situation, that you came into this life with all of the tools that you need to navigate this plane of existence. And whatever may be happening for you, you have everything that you need in order to handle this. This card really tells you that you are the authority over your life, and that you have all the skills necessary in order to handle this experience, in order to handle whatever situation may be coming your way. Like I was saying, it's really riding the waves of life, and allowing there to be that ebb and flow, and for there to be that trust and surrender that the things are always going to unfold in the way that they're meant to, and being okay with that, even when it doesn't look the way that you want it to as well. Because sometimes it's easy to say, these things are easier said than done, obviously, because acceptance comes a lot more easily when you're in the good times rather than in the bad times, or what we perceive to be the good or the bad, because ultimately it's a matter of subjective experience at the end of the day. But with this King of Cups, I think you're really learning how to handle any situation. You're learning that you know how to cope, that you know how to breathe through it, how to come back to center, how to trust yourself, how to trust your intuition, and not to let any external noise, any external chatter, whether that be from part of yourself or from other people, not letting that to sway you or to rock you off center. So I'll go ahead and continue reading by getting a card from our Moonology Oracle deck to get a little bit more information here about what Spirit wants you to know. So we'll go ahead and just get another card here. Okay, so the next card that we have is Last Quarter Moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. So this is interesting, and we also have, I believe we have the energy here of Pisces with this Eight of Cups. We have the energy of Scorpio here with the Six of Cups and this last quarter moon, and then the energy of Cancer with this King of Cups. You may have astrological placements in those signs, but whether you do or not, it might just be something to take into consideration as it resonates with you. So with this last quarter moon, the last quarter moons are really a time of release. They're a time of having they're a time of expressing gratitude for what you've manifested, what you've accumulated during the previous part of the lunar cycle, and it's really allowing there to be that emptiness, that washing away, that clearing of space, and creating that void space for there to be a new beginning within the next cycle. But there's this acceptance, and there's this acceptance of allowing ourselves to sit in the darkness, to sit in that emptiness and that void space, allowing there to be that uncertainty and that uncertainty about what may be next to come. But it's really allowing there to be that emptiness, and it's really creating that base for there to be a new beginning. It's kind of like tilling the soil first so you can plant the seeds, making sure that it's setting up that base for there to be that new intention planted, that those new energies set forth, if that makes sense. But anyway, the sign of Scorpio, this is really all about venturing into the underworld. It's about doing that shadow work that needs to be addressed, and venturing into the dark and unseen parts of ourselves within our psyches. The sign of Scorpio is also often associated with themes of death, of both death and rebirth, death and resurrection. It's often associated with the archetype of the phoenix rising from the ashes and letting there be that falling away, like I was saying with the last quarter moon, that clearing out, that death, that destruction, however you want to define it. It's allowing there to be that crumbling process in order for there to be something more beautiful and more aligned. Allow there to be that new beginning to be born, basically. And this card asks you to reveal what needs to be seen, and this is definitely very much a Scorpio theme. Is, like I was saying, doing that shadow work, uncovering what needs to be addressed, what needs to be brought into awareness, so it can be healed and so it can be transmuted. And this is definitely very much correlated to that Pluto energy as well. It's creating that emptiness, allowing there to be that demolition, so you can then rebuild and restructure your existence, your life, from a more grounded and better, more aligned base foundation. And I think this is really what this card is asking you, is to reveal what needs to be seen, and really reveal what needs to be released, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be walked away from. Like with that Eight of Cups, potentially something from the past, potentially from your childhood, or from maybe from past generations as well, connecting to the energies of your ancestors, and maybe this is some kind of generational trauma for you. It really just depends on your own personal situation, but whatever it is, it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that needs to be brought to light so it can be healed and so it can be transmuted, and so you can really be reborn in a new and more vibrant, and more whole kind of way when you really when you embody life from a healed place. Then things are definitely going to be a lot more peaceful and harmonious and radiant for you in so many different ways. So I'm going to go ahead and end this reading by getting a card from our Cosmic Dancer Oracle deck. So we're just going to get a final message here from Spirit to see what else you need to know, and we'll just go ahead and take a look here. What wants to be known? Okay, so this card that we have for you is Find Your Motivation. This is very interesting, and the imagery in this card just it screams Sagittarius energy. But I think this is really interesting because as you do this deep shadow work, venturing into the underworld, into the undercurrents of your energy, I think this is going to be a good opportunity for you to really find that motivation to continue on your journey through life from a more healed and more whole place. Basically, I think whatever you're leaving behind, whatever you're moving away from, I think once you do that healing work, and I'm not saying that you haven't done the healing work. You may potentially have done quite a lot of healing work, but I think there's still maybe a little bit left to do depending on the situation. But I think once you find that you can come back to that place of center, and you can trust your higher self, your intuition, and that you're not going to let anything in this life take you away from your sense of power, from your sense of power or your sense of peace within yourself. You're not letting the external dictate how you feel and how you experience reality internally. It's living from the inside out rather than the outside in. And this card asks you to find your motivation. And I think what it's wanting you to find your motivation for is going to be unique to you. But I think that ultimately this is asking you to find your motivation to continue healing and to continue doing that deep inner work, to continue doing that shadow work, because the shadow work is oftentimes some of the most difficult work, and it's within the spiritual community, within the within this spiritual space. We oftentimes like to really focus on the light and the love aspects more than the darkness. And I think that both energies have their place. That darkness doesn't necessarily mean evil. It doesn't mean negativity, but it is darkness. It is just that. It is hiding something. It is keeping something from being seen necessarily. And I think that can be both a positive and a negative thing, because we can't have the daytime without the nighttime, or else we would be incinerated. So it's basically the same principle, is that there has to be that balance. There has to be that, it's like the dynamic of the masculine and feminine energies as well, that duality in this life. And I think that it's going to be extremely important for you to continue that motivation, to continue remaining motivated to heal and to do that deep inner work that needs to be addressed. I think that there's something within the core of your being, that there's something within your psyche that you may not necessarily want to address it. And it may be something painful to acknowledge. And depending on your situation, it may be important to potentially reach out for professional help as well if you find yourself dealing with any kind of mental health issues specifically. But I really feel that you're finding that motivation to take life back into your own hands, to do the work, to do the healing, and to to remember that you're in control of your life, that you're in control of your decisions. And we can't control everything in this life, obviously, but we can always control how we respond to what happens to us. And that's and it sounds cliche, but often, that's where our true power ultimately lies, is in our choice, in our free will, and how we choose to show up and embody our energy and radiate our energy out within this universe. So I think you're definitely on the right track. I think there's definitely still some more work to be done, but um, I can tell that you do have a lot of very deep intuitive power within you, that you're very in touch with the universe, that you're very divinely guided, and I think that you're definitely going to be making the right choice. And I think you're really strengthening that trust within yourself, and that trust within your intuition, and the trust within your ability to handle anything that happens to you in this life, and to keep fighting, to keep moving forward, to keep pushing through any kind of adversity that presents itself, because ultimately, this challenge it's part of your soul's evolution, and it's ultimately strengthening you and helping you transmute any kind of darkness or negativity into into your best and most radiant highest self. So I'm going to go ahead and end your reading here, group 3, and thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this reading. And if you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. And if this reading resonated with you, I will also leave information in the description as well if you'd like to help further support the channel and maybe consider leaving a tip. But it's something that's never expected, but very much appreciated. And I'm sending you so much light, so much love, and so many blessings upon your journey. Thank you so much.